This is going to be a little bit weird for me because now that I have 3 lenses, I have to get used to which lens I have to look through. Now, today, and most likely for the rest of the history I have this phone now, if I have the camera on me, I'll be using the wide angle lens to film, and I just checked using the rear view mirror and my mirror up top that the lens I'm using is going to be this one right here. Today is the true test of the 11 Pro Max. I looked at the footage yesterday from the front-facing camera, and unfortunately I still don't think it's good enough. Thankfully the 11 Pro Max has the wide angle that I can use, which I'm using right now, so you can clearly tell with the lens distortion on all sides. Well, literally on the sides, but on all sides of the camera. Headed to Starbucks. I am going to get myself an Ethos water. I don't know if I'm going to get tea yet. I don't know. For some reason, I'm starting to realize that I think tea actually wakes me up more than coffee does. I don't know how, but the honey citrus tea wakes me up more than coffee does. So that, to me, is an interesting find. 0.5 is really, really, really wide, and I just realized that you guys can actually see the mount on the bottom left, so I'm going to adjust that as soon as I get to Starbucks. Slightly dangerous for my phone, but it should hold, because right now I can't show you guys because I don't have enough time to adjust the mount. I'm at a red light right now. Phone mount itself is only grasping onto the right third of the phone. In order for the mount or the screw to not be in the frame, the mount itself has to literally hold the phone on the right third, not even the right 2/3, but the right third of the phone. In terms of cutting the phone mount out of the frame, I should be in the middle of the frame as well, but if I'm not, then I guess, oh well. Like I said, I've never ever filmed with a wide angle lens before, never ever. This is my first time. The audio should also be pretty good as well. I didn't start the video after I exited Starbucks because I got the tea and I got my bottled water, and I had to hold the suction cup mount, which means I had no chance of actually adjusting the phone in the phone mount itself. So I did it after I got to the car. Now we are finally headed on the way to school, and I hope it doesn't rain because clouds. There's actually a really, really nice Porsche right there in the middle lane. I can't do 2x zoom. I would, but I only have one hand right now. I could if I was in the Tesla. Funny enough, I could activate autopilot, but right there in the middle. I'll try to do zoom and post-processing, but I don't know how clear that'll be. I just looked at the video footage and it is so much better. I guess I did need like a 10mm for the APS-C A6000, because with the 16mm it was good enough, but I just didn't have a microphone. But whereas this one, now that I have the wide angle lens and I have the lavalier or omnidirectional microphone, one of the two or both technical terms, it's a lot better. Also, there's no more popping in the audio. I'm still crossing my finger that it does not happen in the future, but if it does, then I guess I'm just gonna have to stick with it until I can afford to get a better quality one. Today I'm parked on the same side as I was last week because that's, well, for one, that Mercedes is right there, and 2, that Subaru is on the other corner. I'm going to go back to 0.5 or wide angle. Today's Tuesday. Actually, yesterday was MLK Day, so there's no school, but still barely anyone up here except for that, front side. Wow, I didn't realize how convenient this was to switch between cameras, so I'm glad I actually did not choose the lock camera mode in settings. I realized that this is really just a lot easier. If I want to zoom back out on myself, I can by just pressing the 0.5 times. If I want to zoom in on something but still have the optical stabilization, I'll just keep it on the 2 times. I'm parked right here, squishing into the corner spot with, again, barely any space between the tires and the curb. Wow, that truly is so much better. I was worried about this van because they're kind of close to the right side, but then I kind of was pondering for a good 10 seconds, and I was like, you know what, I'll try, because what's the worst that can happen? I just look like an idiot, try to back into the spot, If I feel like it's still a little bit squished, then I'll just, move somewhere on the bottom here, since there's still plenty of space around. Plus, there are also all of these spaces around here. Oh, also, the Rolls Royce is actually downstairs. It might be leaving as I leave the classroom, because the 2 times that I saw it, the first time I saw the Rolls Royce was when they were entering the campus. The second time, which was late to last week, I believe, if I remember correctly, they were already leaving towards the exit of the campus. I can't actually see the car because down there there's nothing but, that. Can't really do it. If I can catch him, I will. I do want to see how this phone does when I slow it down to 24 or 30 frames per second, because right now the camera is set to record at 1080p by 60 FPS. I would do 1080 by 240, but for one, I'm very cautious about the space that it takes up, and 2, I don't know if it can actually be edited on my computer, because if I were to do 1080 by 240 on this phone, it converts to most efficient and not most compatible, and right now I have the phone on most compatible, so I've been airdropping all of my video clips onto my computer. I don't know, I may try to shoot 1080 by 240, or try to shoot some sample clips and see if I can edit it and transfer it to my computer, because if I can, then truth be told, I don't even know if I'll need the GoPro 7, because that is literally what I got the Hero 7 for. I got it mainly for 1080 by 240, but if I can record in 1080 by 240 on this phone as well, then I pretty much don't need my GoPro. Kind of 300 down the toilet. Well, no, actually no. He offered it for 250, I think. Wait, 250? If I remember correctly, I have to look back on my previous video. I believe he did offer it for 250. The only upside that the GoPro does have that this phone doesn't is the action videos. So which means I can go out and buy a suction cup mount and risk the GoPro being flung out the window or whatever, whereas my phone, I can't risk that. So that's the only upside right now to using the GoPro and not using the iPhone, but that's if I want to film slow motion in 1080p. Also, this thing finally came in, which also means I no longer need this thing. I kept forgetting this since that has came. Don't need it anymore. So it actually came last week on Friday, which I didn't have any class on Friday. Didn't have the time to actually stick it on until today, when I actually do have school for the first day this week. However, I do want to stress that just because I have the 11 Pro Max now, which is the newest iPhone until the next one comes out, I want to stress, and I cannot stress this enough, that even if you don't have the newest iPhone like I was doing with the 7 Plus, I still figured out and made a way to make this work. If I did not have the 11 Pro Max, I would still be recording on the 7 Plus. And even if I did not have the 7 Plus, if I had the the 6S, I think the AT&T guys said that there was a 6S Plus. There have been so many iPhone models that have came out that I can't even keep track of what there are anymore and their names. But I had the 7 Plus. I think I had the 6 Plus. I don't even remember anymore. But even if you had an older iPhone, right? As long as you can even record in 720p, which I think the iPhones could do from 3 or 4 years ago, because my 7 Plus is already 2 to 3 years old and it can record in 1080 by 60. I'm pretty sure the iPhones 1 or 2 or even 3 generations prior to that can record in 720. I only say that because the A6000, for a good amount of time, I was recording that actually in 720p by either 30 or 60 frames per second, and I was actually exporting in 720p as well. I know that because the first few videos I edited on my iMovie when I was filming and editing on my phone were all exported in 720 before I switched it to 1080 by 60 on my 7 Plus, and also switched the exporting to 1080p that I realized, oh hey, I can film and record in 1080p by 60 frames per second. Technology is so good now that even if you have an older iPhone, you can still be doing the same thing I am. I was doing a little bit of research online, and say if you didn't want to shell out, $120 for a Moment case and a wide angle lens, you can be doing the same thing I am, or I was, with the 7 Plus, by using the standard, one-time optical zoom, and maybe stretching your arms out but just a bit, because right now my arm is literally fully extended. That's pretty much what I had to do with the 7 Plus before I got the 11 Pro Max. But now I can pretty much hold, or not extend my arm as much, but bend my arm and hold my phone maybe like a foot away from me because I can use the wide angle lens, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I proved to myself that you can film with older iPhones and still be able to have a blast. Hope to God I don't drop my phone. Walking to class now, which means I can see how good the optical stabilization is for the wide angle lens, which I'm hoping will be a lot better, because from my experience recording those sample clips last night right outside of Target and Paris Baguette, it did look pretty good. It might look a little bit distorted, but honestly, I'd rather have distortion than camera shake. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below if you prefer distortion or camera shake, because me personally, I would prefer distortion because I do shoot in wide angle for my photos already. One huge pet peeve of mine is having camera shake in videos. Hopefully this works. I would get a gimbal, but then again, I'm not trying to break my bank or break my wallet trying to film. The gimbal is another $70 used, or $100 to $120 on Amazon. I'm not trying to, well, I mean, I may pick one up, but then again, this suction cup mount is more than enough, truth be told. As soon as I get out of class, I'm gonna go get lunch. I don't know from where yet. I'm gonna airdrop these videos onto my laptop and see how good the OS is. We will see from there. Well, I'm kind of unable to pause the video with my pinky for some odd reason, so I guess I will continue filming. Even though I'm running 2 minutes on this clip now, it will let me see how good the actual stabilization is. Just got out of class. I don't know why, but I didn't think to flip the camera around, or flip the phone around rather, and instead of having the lens on the, well, to me, the way how I'm seeing it, why I didn't think of switching the camera from the left side to the right side. So now the phone is actually mounted dead center on the mount. Off topic, the van that was beside me is now gone, and now it's a GTI. Subi is still there, Mercedes is gone. Now let's see if the Rolls Royce is still there. So the Rolls Royce is still here. So this is the one that we've been seeing the past few times. Pretty sure I got that. There's that Miata right there. Back into 0.5 now, which is actually really easy to do. Just a tap of the finger, and that's it. That is a really clean E30 right there. Another Miata right there. I'm continually impressed by these three lenses the 11 Pro Max has. I'm going to actually plug in some photos right now. Of the pictures I took of our Model 3 last night when we were at Paris Baguette. Right now, on the way to actually getting breakfast for, I think, this week and next week maybe, I got, I believe, 2 packs of the bun I showed in previous videos. I don't know how many packs I'm supposed to get. I think I'm supposed to get 2 packs, but I'm not too sure. I have to ask the parent after I stop this video, but right now I'm on the way there, and then still don't know what to eat for lunch. Going to go pick up lunch after I go buy those buns. Honestly, that sounds so wrong. For those of you who don't remember what I'm talking about, I am talking about this, the goji berry and the Longyan. I really don't know how to say it in English, so I might as well just, say it in Mandarin Chinese. And I also forgot to bring the specially made, I guess, frozen bag. For the people who do go out and grocery shop a lot, you know what I'm talking about. We had like 3 of them. Unfortunately, a few weeks back when I was spending the night in SF, I removed actually all of the bags we had in the car, put them in the garage because I was in such a rush, and because I didn't even think of it in the first place, I forgot to move all the bags into the car. I'm gonna have to use that for now. I just realized, you know what, I really want coffee, but I don't want big of a coffee, so I'm gonna go over to the bakery and just get like a tall-sized coffee. Truth be told, I don't know how much it's gonna be. It might be $1, it might be $1.50, but I don't quite remember it. What sucks is I still don't know what to eat yet, but I have to pee really badly. I, truth be told, might just go home first and just see what happens afterwards. I just checked. A minute of footage filmed in 1080 by 240 FPS is only 480 megabytes. For slow motion, I think that a minute is plenty enough, especially if I wanted to slow it down to half or even 3 or 4 times. With the speed that I want, I doubt I'm gonna use over a minute or even close to a minute. To me, recording 30 seconds slowed down by that much in 240 frames per second is literally plenty. I think I'm gonna do that. As long as I'm not recording in 4K for the regular footage, I should be fine. Now that I think of it, I think I should be perfectly fine if I'm, transferring videos every single day using AirDrop, putting them in my external hard drive. I think that should be plenty, because if I was filming in 4K by 60 FPS, that would be a problem. But because I'm filming in 1080 by 60 for the most part, I should be fine. I'm just really happy and really excited I came to that conclusion. That's a unique looking, I don't remember what it's called after they changed the name from G37. I really don't remember. I think it's a QX maybe. It's either QX or FX. I don't quite remember, but that's definitely a wrap. That's not a paint. But I think it looks pretty sick. Wanted to note something funny before she drives off. I was parking. I was reversing into this spot, and I'm guessing that she saw a spot on that side. While I was backing up, she was driving towards my direction as in angling the car. I didn't get mad because I knew exactly what she was doing. She's probably the 2% in Cupertino. I don't even know if she lives in Cupertino, but I'm just guessing that that's the case. She's probably the 2 to 5%, or maybe 2% in Cupertino, but maybe the 5% in South Bay in general, who actually know how to park. Despite the fact I know for a fact that Durango maybe, it comes with a backup camera. I was watching her as she was backing in and she was using the side mirror. Good job to you. I was gonna wait until you got out of the car, but I was trying to get my coffee, so I didn't wait. If anyone who knows her or happens to see this car in this video, kudos to you for actually knowing how to park here in Cupertino. Not a lot of people know how to, 1, back up, and 2, actually park correctly. Got my coffee. I got the vanilla cream actually. Funny story, I was gonna get hazelnut because it's only a tall size and it's $1.50, and a tall size from Starbucks is what, like $4, or I think 3.5. No substitutions, 3.5, but I think like 4 something to 5 if you do substitutions or add-ons. They ran out of hazelnut. I pumped maybe a 1/5 into the cup and all of a sudden it just ran out. Couldn't get hazelnut. I told them, because they're really chill staff, by the way. Told them, and I just ended up getting vanilla. I got 1 little tiny small cup of creamer, half and half, and a pack of brown sugar. And I'm gonna head home now because I really have to pee by this point, so I'm gonna try to rush home, take a piss, and that might be a little TMI, but whatever. Gonna go home, take care of my business. There we go. See what to eat. All right, if anyone can tell me what that thing is on top of his mirror, because I actually don't have a clue. At first I thought it was the blind spot mirror. I thought the only blind spot variation was the ones where they stick onto your side mirror. I didn't know they actually made the ones that you can actually clip onto your car body. I'm gonna try shooting some footage in 1080 by 240, so I hope this works. The funniest thing just happened, and I'm gonna plug in the picture right here. I've never ever seen the same colored car as ours, and obviously I'm gonna blur the license plates and everything, but I've never ever met another RX in the same color with a sticker on the exact same side of our windshield, and not on the top either. The bottom right, I've never ever met anyone in that kind of variation either. Thankfully the owner was in the car. At first when I approached her, I guess she was afraid that I was gonna do something to her. Talking very slowly, I explained to her why I wanted to get a picture. I even showed her the picture because she asked me what we had on our windshield, or the back window, and I said we have a Minion on the window. So then after I shot the photo, I showed her, and she said that that was really funny. So I just thought that it's little things like that make life interesting, because she could have had the football sticker, or we could have had the Minion sticker on the bottom left, and that would have been the deal breaker. It's just so funny how 2 RXs of the same color have stickers on the same corner of the window. Just would like to point out how amazing this blue looks. Is it blue, or is it teal, kind of? Tealish blue, I guess. It still looks good. Dianza, for once, you made something that looks incredible. Was home for a bit, and now we decided on eating Taco Bell. And I'm actually not recording with the suction cup mount. I'm headed to Taco Bell because couldn't figure out what to eat. I wanted Taco Bell. I'm not too hungry, but I still have to eat because it's currently 2 p.m. We won't be eating at least until 6 p.m. So still have another 4 hours to last. So I just realized the clips I filmed on earlier, so I won't be, I guess if I wanted to, I could still do some slow motion clips right now. But when I said slow motion back when I was on the highway, I forgot to put the camera actually in slow motion mode, which means all the videos I recorded were still in 1080 by 60 frames per second. On the way to Taco Bell, I could do some slow motion. I don't know if I will, but if I do, I'm gonna plug it in right now and I will see you guys when I get to Taco Bell. Pretty much right now, I have to remind myself to activate the slow motion video mode if I want to capture 1080 by 240. But right now, we actually just got the Taco Bell. My battery life is currently at 79%. Truth be told, I think I can actually go 2 days, even with a full day's worth of recording. I know with my old phone, I would be possibly at around 55 to 60% by this time, so which means that I would need to charge by the time it hits 9 p.m. today. But I'm pretty sure I can last 2 full days, maybe even 3. I'm not too sure because my Bluetooth right now is turned off. With the old phone, I never had the Bluetooth on at all. I never used any accessories that required the usage of Bluetooth. Right now, since I have Bluetooth turned off, it should still last me 2 days, but I'm gonna, I guess, put that to the test today. The one thing I like about Taco Bell when it's not during lunch is that they are extremely fast. I literally stepped out to make that video that I just played previously and walked in, and as soon as I walked in, they called my name. We got, the top is the parents, which I think she got the black bean crunch supreme or something along those lines. And the bottom are my 2 orders of chicken quesadilla with no sauce because I can't eat spicy. Their sauce is spicy. Going back home, I probably will not be coming back out again until we have to pick up my sibling. I'm going to try and record something during that time, hopefully something in slow motion. I know I won't have anything to film, but I'm still going to try to do so anyways. We'll see. I just realized a really bad part about being able to film in wide angle mode without the suction cup mount. It's really easy for me to flip back and forth using the rear camera only to do both regular footage and slow motion, because I can easily flip the camera, tap slow motion, record 10-15 seconds of it, flip back to regular video, and just keep on switching from there. That's the bad part about filming this whole thing handheld. If optical stabilization was actually good enough, I could actually wing the whole thing without using my suction cup mount. It would not be low-key at all. At least with the suction cup mount, it's, people know, right? If you're filming with your arm, it's more high-key filming with your arm than actually holding a suction cup mount. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, because I really would like to hear some input on if you guys actually agree with me or not.